today for math, we will be doing math Worktext, page 61 and 62, and because you have no math homework, we'll also be doing reviews, page 59 and 60. We'll talk about that a little bit, but you'll be doing that one mostly on your own. All right, so we can need to review. Yesterday we learned about what kind of graph. We can remember this one. Bar graph. Very good. This is a bar graph. Remember we said the bars can also go across. Notice your paper today. It has the bars going across, and the numbers are at the bottom. And you see how far they go across. All right, then we also learned about this. Can anybody remember what this one was called? Line plot.
So right there.
Oh, it does say it right there, line plot. All right, so you had to look at the bottom, like this said, number of tickets, all right? And this is how many people bought that many tickets, all right? So if you say one, that's one ticket. So how many people only bought one ticket? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people just bought one ticket. And then you come all the way down here, 10 tickets. How many people bought 2 tickets? I mean 10 tickets? 2. 2 people bought 10 tickets. And how many people bought 9 tickets? None, because there's no X's. So you have to actually read line plots so you know what they're talking about. If you don't read what they're talking about, then it can get confusing. All right, now this one we talked about on that very first day when we were just talking about what we're going to be learning. But this one is a picture graph. Now don't look up here because this is what the old book called it a pictograph. All right, so we call it a picture graph now. And for a picture graph, you look at the picture, they'll have some kind of key underneath it, and it will tell you what each picture is worth. For example, this little running guy is equal to 2 people. All right, this is similar except they had one with balls, but it was favorite sports. So students were interviewed and they had to pick their favorite sport. So we would be counting by twos. So for basketball, what the favorite sport was, how many people?
2, 4, 6, 8.
8 people. Soccer.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
For football.
2, 4, 6, 8.
For baseball.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
And for volleyball?
2, 4.
All right, so you'll do the same thing. Always have to look at the little key because, like I said, it's not always going to count by 2s. I think we've had a lot of them that count by 2s so far, but sometimes they'll count by 5s, they may count by 10s, they may just count by 1s, but probably not. They could even count by 3s, okay? So let's look first of all at our bar graph. All right, how many of you know what a mosaic is? What is a mosaic? Jonathan, do you know what a mosaic is?
Well, it's kind of like when you take like these little blocks and you put them in like a pattern and you can make different ones.
So you can take little shapes, it could be squares, rectangles, different shapes, and you're going to turn them into a picture, all right? So it's saying that Mrs. Johnson gave each student a bag of patterned blocks to make a mosaic, and she made sure that each student had the same blocks. So this bar graph is to tell us how many of each shape they were given. So if you look at the bar graph, you've got to actually look at the bar graph. You see circles. How many circles were given? 4, because they're counting by 2s. Notice the numbers across the bottom are counting by 2s. So for every square that's colored, it's 2. All right, how many diamond shapes? 8. How many quadrilaterals? 4. Because it's a 4-sided figure, but it's not really a rectangle, is it? How many triangles?
8.
And how many squares?
12.
All right, now we're going to answer the question. It says, how many purple blocks was each student given? That was the diamond one. 8 what? What's the label?
Blocks.
Blocks. You need to put blocks. You don't have to write purple, you can just put blocks. 8 blocks. You already did that? No, you didn't, because you didn't write blocks. See, you're doing it on your own, but you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to do what I would expect you to do on a test. All right, then they say, what color block does each student have the most of? Blue. So write blocks, so we're gonna say blue blocks. And just in case you don't know, it is B-L-U-E. B-L-U-E. That's how you spell blue. Blocks you can copy. Alright, from this bar graph, can you determine how many students are in Mrs. Johnson's class?
No.
This bar graph only tells us how many blocks she gave to each student. So you could tell how many blocks she gave to each student by counting up all the blocks, couldn't you? But you can't tell how many students are in a class. And then they ask you how many yellow, green, and orange blocks were in each bag. So they're not asking about all the blocks. How many yellow were there? 4. And I'm going to make you write an equation. You can write it over the side and just put the answer. So put an equation over the side. 4. And how many green? 4. And how many orange? 8. So you need to write the equation. 4 plus 4 plus 8. And you can write it going across because you can do this one in your head. So just write it going across. 4 plus 4 plus 8. Did you write the equation like I asked you to? 4 plus 4 plus 8? Okay. So 4 plus 4 is?
8.
And 8 plus 8 is?
16.
So 16 blocks. Don't forget to put blocks. Alright, this brings us to the pictograph. I have the old chart that says pictograph and it made me want to say that again. Alright, so this pictograph. Look at the bottom of it. What is the key? It says that one little purple square or milk carton equals 5 milk cartons. So what are we going to count by?
5.
Yeah, you're going to have to count by 5s. For every milk carton you see pictured, you're going to have to count by 5s. And it is days of the week. Do you guys see the days of the week? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Yep.
So it's like a school week. And they're talking about milk purchased. Alright, so what does each square represent? 5 what?
Milk cartons.
Milk cartons. You need to write 5 milk cartons. And you can spell that from, it is in there somewhere.
It's on the key.
Yes, on the key. Look at the key. Key says 5 milk cartons, so you write 5 milk cartons. Down at the bottom where it says 1 square equals 5 milk cartons. You're gonna write 5 milk cartons. Raise your hand if I'm going too fast, I'm gonna go on to the next one. Alright, we're all good? Alright, the next one says, on which day were the fewest cartons of milk purchased? Tuesday. Alright, go ahead and put what they have, but I want you to add the word day to that, so that you're not putting the abbreviation. So write capital T-U-E-S D-A-Y. Just add day to that, so you're not putting the abbreviation. And please make sure you capitalize it. All the days of the week are capitalized.
Do you have to label it or anything?
No, there's no label. Tuesday is just Tuesday. If there's a number, there's probably a label. And then on the blue block. But no, usually just Tuesday. Alright, then the last thing they ask you is how many milk cartons were purchased this week?
Friday.
So what? Yeah, what?
Oh.
How many were purchased this week? So how are we going to figure that out?
Count by
Count by 5s and count all of them. Very good. So go to Monday and let's start counting.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100.
So 100, and the label will be
Milk cartons.
100 milk cartons.
Quite a bit of milk cartons.
Don't talk out. You're talking out again. When you've written 100 milk cartons, you may go and turn your paper over. On the back we have another bar graph, and it again is going across. Okay? This time we are doing a graph of basketball points scored, and they have people's names on the side. So the people are Tina, Olivia, Kathy, and Alexis. And what are they counting by for each square? Answer my question, please, and stop blurting out. Thank you. They are counting by fives. All right, so who scored the most points? Kathy, because her bar is the longest. So copy Kathy's name. And please look how they spell Kathy, because there are different ways to spell Kathy, so you need to spell it the way they spelled it. All right, the next one we're going to have to do an equation on, because they're asking how many points did Alexis and Tina score all together. Now, to come up with an answer, we can't just count the boxes by fives, but I do want you to write the equation. All right, so Alexis, what was her number?
15.
15, so put 15, and you can write it going across, because we're going to count the boxes up by fives to get the answer. Plus, Tina, 10. So 15 plus 10, and let's count all of them. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Some of you could have done that in your head anyway. How many of you could have done it in your head? Good. So what do you need to put? 25 what? No.
Basketball points.
No, just points. I don't need basketball. I don't really care whether it was any sport. Just points. Because it says how many points. It does not say how many basketball points. You usually just call them points. You don't say football points, basketball points, baseball points. You don't do that. So just put points. Now, the next one actually says what equation. So you have to write the whole equation, and you can just go ahead and write it on the line, because we're not going to add them up. We are going to count by fives to get the answer. But it says what equation shows how many points all 4 girls scored. So we have to write each girl. What was the first girl? I don't need to know her name. I need to know her points. 15. So put 15. All right, and the next girl, Kathy, what was her points?
25.
So put plus 25. And like I said, you can just write it going across. And you need to wake up and do it, please. We're on number, since you have gotten behind, we're on number 3. Number 3, the first girl scored 15 points. So please put 15 for that first girl. 5, 10, 15. No. Can you please do what I'm saying and just put 15? Listen to the words that I'm saying. Put 15. And then plus, the second girl was again what, guys? We're still the second girl. Somebody's not listening. 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. All right, what about the third girl, Olivia?
20.
20. So put plus 20 after the plus 25. And the last girl? 10. So put plus 10. And then put your equal sign. And let's go back and count all the boxes by fives. Are you ready?
Yes.
Some of you are not ready. Some of you are playing with your pencil or playing with your eraser. Get your finger ready. Go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. So you can put an answer of 70 there and then add the word points after it. 70 points. All right, so what is the next thing we're going to do? Raise your hand. What is that called? Jonathan?
It's a picture graph.
Yes, it is a picture graph. And what is the key? Raise your hand. You can tell me what the key is for this picture graph. Yes, Liam?
1 smiley face equals 5.
Yes, 1 smiley face. Please pay attention to your paper. Put your feet down. Stop playing with your legs and shoes and look at the paper. 1 smiley face. Do you see the key? Underneath that picture graph, do you see where it says 1 smiley face equals 5 items? I didn't tell you to write that yet. You need to stop daydreaming and pay attention to me, please. Alright, so 1 smiley face equals 5 items. The first question says, how many bottles of water were sold? So you're going to look at the picture of the bottle of water, and beside it you see some smiley faces. Count, just do it on your own. Just count those smiley faces by fives. For the bottles of water. I didn't want you to put the answer, I was gonna ask somebody, okay? So how many bottles of water was it, everybody, since it's already been said?
25.
25 what?
Water bottles.
Bottles, just put bottles, you don't have to put bottles of water, you can just say 25 bottles, but you do need to put bottles. 25 bottles. Alright, number 5 says, how many more, so what are we gonna do? Subtract. Now leave the line for the answer. Go over to the side and you'll write the problem there. But it asks how many more pizza slices were sold than popcorn buckets. So go to the pizza slices and let's count up the smiley faces. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, so I want you to write it going down this way. So you're going to write 35 over where you have room. Don't put it on the line. Minus, now let's count up the popcorn buckets. Popcorn buckets, 5, 10, 15. So you're going to be doing 35 minus 15, like that. Over to the side, where there's room. And then you just subtract. 5 minus 5, 0. 3 minus 1, 2. And then go back to the line, and you're going to write 20 more. 20 more. And they made a mistake because they didn't write 2 more. I just corrected my book. Can you determine how many people ordered?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No, because it's saying just 5 items.
He says yes. Most of you are saying no. Why can you not determine? Jonathan, why can you not determine how many people?
Well, it only says how many items were purchased. It doesn't say how many ordered.
Right, because what can some people do?
Some people order and then they don't even buy anything.
No, that's not what they're getting at.
That it's only people who ordered like 5 items.
Yeah, some people could have ordered more than one item. Right? Like you could say, oh, I need a water and a pizza. Right? Or a water and a popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
Some people, so it doesn't tell you people, it just tells you items ordered. Because some people might have ordered all 3. Some people might have said, I need a water and a pizza and a popcorn. Right? So answer is no. And the reason why is people may have ordered more than one item. No, people may have ordered more than one item. And you can copy the word people right there from the question, because it says, can you determine how many people ordered? And you can copy the word ordered from the item. You should know how to spell may. People may have ordered more than one item. And you can copy the word item from the key. But you would not put the S, because you would not say more than one items, would you? Items is plural, and when you're saying one, that's singular. Item. Alright, at the bottom, they show another table, and it says number of baskets and points earned. Alright, so when you make a basket in basketball, you make 2 points, unless it's a 3-pointer. But they're going with the normal basket, 2 points. So, we need to count by 2s. So 1 basket, 2 points. 2 baskets, 4 points. 3 baskets would be 6 points. 4 baskets would be 8 points, and 5 baskets would be 10 points. And you're counting by 2s. On the other side it says, what can a graph not help you with? This is from what we learned when we read the story. Page?
Knowing who God is.
Yes, knowing who God is. Bubble in, knowing who God is. Math cannot tell us who God is. Alright, on your second paper that I will be giving to you, you're going to be doing a picture graph. And it says 1 stick figure is equal to 5 students. So you're going to use this picture graph. It's about kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. Use the picture graph and the fact that stick figures are 5 students to answer the questions. Then you will have a bar graph. And you're going to need to put a title. Guys, the title's gonna be the same title as the picture graph, because this bar graph is the same as this picture graph. You're just making it into a bar graph. And you're gonna put the grades here, kindergarten first, second and third, and then the bars are gonna go across. Does everybody understand that? The bars are gonna go across for this. And then answer some questions again. And on the back, if you have any questions with the back is using your common sense to guess how many people would attend a ball game at a stadium. Is that gonna be a big number or a small number? Big. All right, and siblings, big or small? Smaller. A choir,
Big.
or it could be medium. It's probably gonna be more medium, guys. Actually, according to these numbers, it's probably gonna be the small number, because their numbers are 40, 400, and 4,000. So a men's choir, 40, 400, or 4,000? 40. Why just 40? And chapter in a book.
How many chapters in the book?
Well, don't guess small. You need to look at the numbers and you'll guess. You'll get it right, unless you're being silly. And then they have some place value, like which number has a 4 in the 10,000s, which one has an 8 in the 100s, and which one has a 9 in the 1,000s. And if you have questions, what should you do?
Ask.
Yes, please ask.